Wildcat Football Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org/Wildcats.
The Wildcats are back home after 2 weeks on the road. They'll host the Colorado Buffaloes coming up on Saturday evening at Arizona Stadium. We'll talk about that game coming up as well. And Coach, first of all, go back and look at that film always, as you do after every ball game. Anything jump out at you from the game at UCLA that maybe you didn't see during the game itself?
Yeah, well, the first thing that jumps out is, injury to Grant, and then Will Plummer coming in, basically didn't even get a chance to warm up, right? So he, because Grant walked off the field, holding his shoulder. They started the clock. So, I thought Will came in that situation for a guy who's never played and played basically the whole game and gave us a chance to, put us in a position to be able to tie or win the game at the end, we fumbled the snap on the field goal. We had some other miscues, but I thought all in all for a true freshman to come in the game and operate the way he did, was really good. I also thought that, the adjustments we made at halftime, particularly defensively, to slow them down and get them off the field to give us a chance to be in the game, were good. And so you saw a lot of players that played a lot of guys. A lot of guys are a little bit nicked up, but we had some young guys go in there and some guys that hadn't played a bunch to play in the game and get some experience.
So do you remember the first time you saw Will Plummer out of Gilbert High School when you were recruiting him?
Yeah. The funny part is, we had already committed a quarterback, and his brother was going to the place where I went to school. So he's playing at Purdue. And then Coach Brom and we saw, and then the guy said, well, his brother's playing out there, but he's not playing because his brother's a quarterback, and he was playing tight end, he was playing receiver, he played a bunch of different positions, just a tough guy. We talk about it, we laugh and joke about it. Older brother gets all the perks, right? So you got to move around and until he leaves. And then when he went to quarterback, we thought, this guy is he can run, he's tough, he can throw it, he's got a bright future. So yeah, we've seen him play multiple positions besides quarterback, and I think you saw why Saturday night.
Okay, one last thing on Will Plummer, and if I remember right, not too far into fall practice, you mentioned that he had a chance to play this year. You saw him early on and knew his potential. When did you identify him here in the last month or so as the guy to fill in if needed?
It wasn't a month or so. I think, as I said after the game, he earned the right through practice, through scrimmages, through a lot of different things to be the backup and prepare that way. And there's no way, that a guy's going to be completely prepared as a backup because of the amount of reps the starter gets. And what he lacks in experience, obviously he made up for in athleticism, and so, he, as I said, he put us in a position to have a chance in a difficult situation for a quarterback who basically after play one, now you're in and you're going to have to play the whole game. And, when he came off the field after the first series, I had a conversation with him about sliding because, he was just going to run through, and you saw him get dumped on the sideline and get hit. And I said, listen, Grant's not coming back tonight, so you need to be smart about what you're doing. And then, he's the football player in him said, still try to run over people, but those kind of things happen with a young guy that plays the way he plays. And so, he adapted to that.
Hughes Federal Credit Union is proud to be recognized by Forbes as one of Arizona's best credit unions 3 years in a row. This national recognition highlights our commitment to high-quality products and services, our customer service, digital services, and financial advice. At Hughes Federal Credit Union, we offer low rates on loans, lower fees, and many free services. Make the switch. Join Hughes today. Visit hughesfcu.org/best.
Wildcat Football Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Forbes ranked Hughes one of the best credit unions in Arizona 3 years in a row. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/best.
Back with the coach, Arizona, Colorado Saturday. Coach Stanley Berriel has become your team's top receiver, 18 catches, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns so far through 3 ball games. What have we seen out of Stanley, maybe other than experience, that has made him so effective?
It's we believed in Stanley when we got here because he was a walk-on and we gave him a scholarship. So he is a guy that has really, for his size, has really embraced the weight room. I give him a hard time. I walked by him and said, "What are you, like 170 now?" Because he was really 160 some pounds when we got here. So, he's proud of being, he tries to claim 180, but he's no way he's 180 pounds. He tries to stay around there. He eats right. He's soaking up everything. He wants to learn, and he's a tough guy. Everybody sees him, and when he gets his hands on the ball, but what they don't see is special teams and him being a gunner on punt that's forcing guys. And as you talked about, the one we left inside, UCLA's got a great returner, forcing the punt and making tackles and getting guys to the boundary. He is a team player and he plays fast. He's a, as we now we don't talk about 4.5, 4.4, 4.3. We talk about miles per hour, right? You see that on Monday Night Football, and Stanley's a high 21 and right in the 22s miles per hour guy, which means he's fast and explosive, and I think he's playing with confidence now just because he's played a couple of years and he belongs and he knows that, and he's a fun guy to be around. He's always got a smile on his face, always bounced around, kind of a jokester, but he's a good player, and I'm glad that all his hard work and dedication to his craft is paying off right now.
Coach, even though there's not going to be 50,000 on hand on Saturday, it's nice to be back home. I mean, not many teams had to play back-to-back road games this year, at least on the original schedule. So can you still get that same sense from your guys? Just glad to be back home to play a couple at Arizona Stadium? I mean,
it's, whenever you're on the road, it's a little bit different. But to be back home, it's probably a little bit more comforting. But these guys are so happy to play football. I mean, it's, I think in this time and what has gone on, for the last really 8 months, to be able to play these games and for them to watch every week, this game's been postponed, this game's being delayed, this game's being doing that. For our guys is just to play the game of football. I think it's been really helpful because of all the work they put in. And to be able to go and compete and do that has been a big deal. So yeah, I being home is certainly probably more comforting, and the tough part is with the spike and everything that's going on for in our county, parents, and there won't be anybody there, but just us. But we experienced that in the 2 stadiums that we've gone to. So our guys are used to it. Is it disappointing? Yes, but to play at home and to play the game, I think they're very grateful for it.
Thank you for watching Wildcat Football Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.